let's get down to what we really came here for, and that's to do some programming. The first thing we need to do is go to the extension that's over here in the left-hand column and click on it. Now, we have to pick one of our analog station ports. In this case, we'll be using 207. If you look closely over here, the icon next to the 7 is a picture of a telephone. But we'll click on 207. The next thing we do is go over here to the analog tab and click on that. Now, we want to make this a door phone. If you notice, door phone 1 and door phone 2 are grayed out. You cannot select them. By default, standard telephone is already selected for us. What we have to do is click IVR port. Now, the difference between the IVR port and the standard telephone is this right here, the disconnect pulse width. All right? What that means is that the IVR port will generate what's known as a CPC, calling party control disconnect. Also, sometimes it's called reliable disconnect. Basically, it's a wink open in the loop circuit that will tell the door box to release when you hung up from the KSU. You can leave it on standard telephone, but you're going to have some operational problems. Okay, with that being said, you go down to the bottom right-hand corner of the program of the manager, and you're going to click OK. Once you do that, if you go back and you look at the icon for extension 207, you'll see that it's changed to some other symbol, which I cannot tell you what that is. You would continue doing this for each analog extension that you want to assign to become a door phone. Okay, so now we've created our door phone logically in the system. Now we have to get some telephones to ring when someone presses the button. And here's how we do that. We're going to right-click. Once again, right-click on Hunt Groups over here. You'll see a pop-up box comes there. We're going to select New. We're going to give it a name over here. Very simply, we're going to call it Door Phone 1. We're going to give it an extension number. My recommendation is not to use 200, 201, 215. Keep those for your digital and IP extensions. Work backwards. Make an extension 199. All right? The ring mode, since we want all the phones to ring within this group at the same time, we're going to select Collective. It's going to give us a little warning there, but it's fine. We go on from there. What we're going to do next is we're going to put some extensions in there that are going to ring. To do that, we click the Edit button here. That will bring up all the extensions in the system. And to add them, all you really have to do is double-click. There's 210, 202, 203, 204. You can double-click as many as you want. Even if you have a SIP extension remotely off-site, double-click that. That person will get the ring. Once you're done, go down here and click OK. And that will show you that they're in there, also that they are enabled. Now, if you want to make that a little bit wider, you can do that so it's easier to see. Now, what we would typically do is go down the right-hand corner. We click OK. And we now have Hunt Group 199, which will, every member in here will ring immediately whenever someone presses the door phone button. Well, that takes care of the door phone ringing on the telephones. As I also pointed out in my little pop-up in there, whatever you type in the name of the Hunt Group, that's what's going to appear in the LCD of the telephones. So if you have multiple door phones, you can give obviously each one a different name. And it doesn't have to be door phone 1, 2, 3, 4. It could say side entrance, back door, front door, whatever you want to put in there will appear in the LCD. The next thing I'd like to point out is that the Hunt Group, by default, has a voicemail box that's activated. Unless you want your people at the door being answered by a voicemail, I would deactivate. So we go over here on the voicemail tab in the Hunt Group, click on that, and then uncheck voicemail. Then, as always, you would click OK down the bottom right-hand corner to save that change. One more thing you can do, if you want to get fancy, you can click on Announcements, turn Announcements on, and you can record an announcement so that when the door phone is ringing inside, on the outside, whoever pressed the button can hear a message like, "Your call is being processed now. Please wait, we'll be with you in just a moment." That's if you want to get fancy. If you don't, then don't use that feature at all. Okay, there's one more thing we need to do. We need to tell extension 207 to dial the hunt group for the door phone. And here's how we do it. We're going to go over here in the left-hand column and click on User. Then we're going to select 207. Then we're going to go over here under Short Codes and click on that. Then we're going to go to the right and click on the Add button. And then down below, the code we're going to use is question mark and a capital D. Now that's a short code syntax, and what it means is to dial the number that's below. Where it says dial, we're going to change that to dial extension. Then we'll go through this list right here. Okay, we found dial extension, and the group ID is going to be staying at 0. The telephone number is going to be 199. If you remember, 199 is the door phone hunt group. We then click OK. We click OK down at the bottom, and we're done. Now, what will happen is when someone presses the door phone button, it's going to go off hook on the intercom and dial 199. You can also test this by taking your butt set and going across the pair, the tip and ring, the circuit, the loop, whatever you prefer to call it, of extension 207. As soon as you go off hook, the phones that are in the door phone hunt group should begin to ring. That would be your first test. Your next test, obviously, would be to connect the door box with the door phone out at the remote location and push the button. Make sure you get a connection. Okay, if you follow these instructions, everything should work just fine.